Hi, or welcome back, or welcome if you're new. It's Sunshine Lorena and it's Vlogmas Bookmas Day 16 and I'm going to be reacting. This is going to be my first ever reaction video and it's going to be to my ever first haul/TBR video. I've not read this. I even forgot I owned this. I have not read it. I've read this. I did. Yeah. Big fail. Fail. So guys, yes, my first ever reaction video to one of my old videos. This is going to be painful because I've never went back and watched an old video, but I know that I've become more confident as I've been making more videos. So this is like the third ever video I posted to my channel way back in July or August 2020. So it's gonna be painful to watch. It's gonna be painful. So what I'm gonna do is, this one I did a book haul and I think I was speaking about if I was gonna try and read that one in that month in August. So I want to see if the books that I've hauled, if I have even read them at all, and if I've actually read them in August 2020. I don't remember what books I bought back then. This is going to be interesting. And yes, it's going to be super interesting. So we're going to watch this together. You're going to see my reactions and I will kind of give you brief kind of ideas of what I got. So let's just kick it off. Let's start the pain, guys. Let's start the pain. And welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Lorena. And today I am going to be doing the confidence is lacking here. So lacking. Books that I've bought since the end of June up until the end of July. And also a little bit of my August TBR, which might be a tad probably was ambitious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my physical book stack before I get to my ebooks, which I've bought. Okay, that's not good. So it's a physical book haul and ebooks, and guys, the ebooks, I mean, this year I've bought a lot of ebooks and I have read a few. But I'm not the best at reading the books on my Kindle. So, prediction. The physical ones, maybe I've read them all, probably not. But the ebooks this is gonna be bad, guys. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be really bad. I'm gonna fail at this. I'm gonna fail. Got my notepad, my pen. Let's just let's see what the first book is. Let's see. Okay, so let's get into it. So the first one that I'm gonna speak about is For One Another. I read it. Which you have probably seen. I really enjoyed it. Gave it like a 4-star, but I read it in October 20. It's really popular. So yeah, I didn't read it in August. Did not. But I have read it. I enjoyed it. I definitely recommend. The structure is a little bit different in terms of like sentences and stuff. They are and stuff. That's such a bad. With the sentences, they don't have full stops and things, but yeah, so you know, it's really good. It's about 12 different women from various different backgrounds in the UK, and yeah, it's really good. Enjoy it. Definitely recommend. And I've been wanting to pick up another book by Bernstein Evaristo, but I haven't picked one up yet. But at least I read this. Didn't read it in August, but it has been read. Yes. Okay, let's go for the next one. This one is Homegoing. I've read this. Which I have it on audiobook and I was listening to it. I'm not too sure how far I got into it, but I kept kind of losing my place with the audiobook. So yeah, again, I don't know if I'll be able to read this one in August. It's a maybe for an August TBR. It was a maybe for August TBR, so I feel like I shouldn't count it. But let me see, I have read it, I gave it a 5 stars, I absolutely loved it. It is a good audiobook. So yes, I did struggle with the audiobook, but that was the very beginning of my audiobook journey. And I'm much better with them now, so I think I just wasn't used to that format at the time, but it is a good audiobook. So when did I read this? I read it in September. I finished it. I don't know when I started it, but anyway, I read it in September. But I said a maybe, so I'm going to say it wasn't on my August TBR, but I have read it, you know. I've got to try and give myself some points up front, guys. Okay, I've got to try. Okay, let's see what's the next one. And the next one is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I enjoyed it. Gave it 4 stars. I want to say I read it in August. I need to check. Okay, I read it in August, guys. I read it in August. We have the first one that I bought and read in August. So, ticks all over the place, guys. Yes, but before the coffee gets cold, I really enjoyed it. It has fantasy elements. It's about this cafe where you can time travel. There's certain rules that you have to stick and follow to it, and like people always hear rumours about you can time travel at this cafe. But you have to sit in like the specific seat, the coffee has to be poured in a certain way, you have to get back before the coffee gets cold, and the person that you want to go back in the past to visit has to have been into the cafe. But it's really good. It's 4 different stories. I really enjoyed it. It's very interesting to see the reasons why people want to time travel and why, and what actually happens with that. I do have the second one. I've had it for a few months. I haven't read it yet, but I definitely want to get to it. So yeah, it's good. What's the next one?
So these books, like I bought from, I think it was Amazon, those ones that I've just done. These next ones I actually bought secondhand from Oxfam.
Yes, we love a charity book
online,
buy
like
on this
all their
channel.
bookshops and stuff are selling some of their books online, so you can order
I
it and
don't
have
like
them delivered.
the book that I'm seeing my hand on this.
But yeah, I like, if
What did I
I
say?
can, I like to buy is There's a Here. By
I haven't read it.
Paulo,
I haven't
can
read
never
this
say his
This Here.
surname, Coelho, I think.
Since, you know, my favourite book ever is by him, and I haven't read any of his books, I really need to get to it. Did read it in August, not read it ever.
It is Excursion to
I've not read it, guys.
which is written by Andrea Calmari, and it is
I
an
have not read
Spectre Multibano book.
I really enjoyed the TV series.
so
I have read one book in the series of books, it wasn't even the first one. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't picked them up, guys. I really love this TV series. I haven't picked it up.
And then these next two.
Is that what I see?
So I was
Is that what I
so
think?
happy when I saw them on the website. I have been trying to complete
Okay, I have completed the whole series, so I have read
of
that looks like
books
books 2 and 3. I have read them in the Neapolitan Quartet series. I love that series. I recommend. Literary fiction, amazing. The second book, my favourite one. So were they both my TBR? But I definitely read the second one in August because I read it when I was in Sicily.
I'm looking forward to then continue on with these two. I might read The Story of a New Name in August.
I did read it.
I don't think
I
I'll
did
get to
read
the
it, guys.
third one.
I read it.
I'm going to
Read
move on
it.
to
Yes.
ebooks now.
Oh, the ebooks.
I have recently been buying a
Let's do
lot
that, guys.
of ebooks.
We're gonna fail at this one. We're gonna
because
fail.
I know
We're gonna
that
fail.
I'm going to have those 2 weeks away.
Nice. I don't want to know.
The first one I did get was Queenie.
Okay, I already read it. Why
I
am I
absolutely
books
loved
that I
it.
already read?
I read it
Let's skip on.
July. The next one I bought was The Dilemma, which is by
I already
Paris.
read it. Hated this book, guys.
It's supposed to be
Hated it. Do
thrilling
not
drama,
recommend it as a
and
thriller.
I did not
It
finish.
was very unthrilling.
The next one was 100 Years of
I
Solitude,
haven't read it.
which is by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and it's one of those books that you always see on
Not read it.
those lists of books you should read before you die, and I thought I should probably give it a go. I don't think I'll read that in August.
Okay,
Yeah,
at least I
it's
said I
really
didn't think I was going to read it in August.
holiday
I haven't read it
vibe,
ever, but at least, you know,
and
at least I didn't have plans to read it imminently in this one. But quick story time, guys. Quick story time. So I read in the Love in the Time of Cholera by the same author back in 2017. I was like my first year doing Goodread goal basically. I was like, yes, I'm going to read 52 books in a year, which honestly was a push for me because I used to love reading and I had read hardly anything leading up to that year, but I wanted to do it as a goal. And honestly, I didn't get to 52 that year, but I did really well. I got like 31 or something, and I was really proud of that. But I had a very rigid view of my reading that year. I had to read a book at one at a time. I didn't DNF, I didn't put books aside to pick them up later. I just would stick with it until I finished it, which was a mistake. Now, I quite hated Love in the Time of Cholera. I'm not gonna lie, hated it. But I think part of the reason is because I forced myself to finish it, and maybe if I picked up another time, I might have not hated it as much, but I don't think I would have all of a sudden loved it. I still wouldn't have thought it was a great book. Yeah, don't recommend. I bought this one obviously to try and see, well, maybe I'll read like, you know, like one of his other books. I haven't read it yet, but I need to do that. Maybe I'll do a video about second chance authors or something, include this, because yeah, we need to see, was it that one specific book or is it the author? I just don't like the writing. We need to see, but yes, story time's over, guys. Story time's over. Let's get on to the next one.
The next one I got is Dominicana, which was shortlisted for the Women's Fiction Prize along with Girl, Woman, Other. I've already read this.
Why did I speak about books I already read?
It'll be my wrap-up video. So yeah, that one's done.
Let's go on to the next one.
Okay, next one is Pretty Killer, which is...
I've not read it.
So
I even forgot I owned this.
They arrive for some dinner party, and they realise they know all the dinner guests, but somebody has some sort of like secret. So yeah, it's like a thriller.
I mean, it sounds interesting. I just haven't picked it
I want
up.
more thrillers this year because I haven't really read that many. It sounded good, and I think I'll try and read that in August.
Didn't read it in August, spoiler.
And then the next one is Love Like Water.
I haven't read
And
this.
Hearts and Hendricks Book 1. So it sounds like a series. It is a romance
read it.
novel. I do read romance occasionally. And yes, it's kind of exactly what I kind of want to read when I'm away, traveling, things, something light, you know. She loses her job, is my understanding, and she gets a job as a tour guide. Obviously, I think it's the person that she's hired to replace she's supposed to follow.
I mean, that sounds, my description first of all here is
attraction to-
not great, but it sounds like it would be like a nice fun kind of light read, but I have been reading a lot more romances this year. I do enjoy a good romance, but that sounds a bit more like springy summer, so maybe in 2022 I'll actually read it, guys. I feel like this video is teaching me that I should actually, maybe I should evaluate what my goal should be in 2022 and actually try and read the books I own, because, you know, I mean, I don't even know how many books I have on my Kindle, and I kind of don't want to know that. Don't want to know. Right, next one.
Is The Colour Purple, which is by Alice Walker. Again, it is a book
I could read The Colour
lots
Purple.
of lists of ones that
I've not read it. I really want to. I've heard such great things about it. I think it would be really good and amazing. I need to make time for it, but be probably the right friend of mine to pick up that kind of book. Big fail, 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 fail.
I will try to read that in August.
I did not read that
If
in
not,
August,
then
as
it's
I've
gonna
said.
be September.
So optimistic.
Next one,
Next one.
I got, which I've already read actually, is Black
I read it.
Listed, Black British Culture Explored.
I already read it. Why did I put books on this that I already read? It's annoying me. Okay,
The
next
next
one.
is King Leopold's Ghost, a story of greed, terror and heroism in
So I
colonial
haven't read King
Africa.
Leopold's Ghost.
So this is a non-fiction.
I did not read it. I have not read it. I didn't put this one on that TBR because it was too heavy for a month that I was going to be on holiday. I was thinking, you know, summery vibes, so at least, you know, haven't read it. My non-fiction, I've not checked, but I think I've not read that much non-fiction this year, but I feel like percentage-wise, because obviously the amount of books I've read has been very different, but percentage-wise, I think I did better with non-fiction last year than this year, but I'd have to check. And yes, I need to get better at reading non-fiction. I feel like, you know, I need to read a little bit more educational stuff rather than just having my head up in the clouds. But we need to read more non-fiction, and we still have like 10 minutes left for this video, and this is not looking good, guys. This is not looking good.
The next one I got was A Decent Family, a novel, and Rosa Ventrella. The reason why I picked this one up, again, it came up on the Daily Deal, and then it said that, you know, people who liked Elena Ferrante's Napolitana novels will like this. And that's kind of like, well, I'm going to give it a go.
But not the same. It's a different time period. I felt like I didn't do justice describing it like that. I read it actually in August, guys. So, you know, we're doing well now. We're doing well. So let's see the next one. Probably haven't read it, guys. Let's face it. Probably haven't read it. Let's see.
Next one is Red Dust Road. Okay, and this one is by Jackie Kay.
August. I did because I remember reading it when I was on holiday.
It's a memoir. And from the moment when, as a little girl, she realises that her skin is a different colour from that of her beloved mum and dad. to the tracing of finding her
It's a good memoir.
her Highland mother and Nigerian father.
It's a really good memoir for her, showing how she was exploring her past, her cultural identity, her journey. Yeah, I thought it was a really, really good one. It was interesting.
I think my August TBR is probably too long and I'm not going to read all of these books, but I'm going to try my best.
Yes, my August TBR quite clearly was far too long and barely read any of these books, but at least I read that one, guys. You know, we get a medal for our participation here. Next one.
And the next one I got is British on Race, Identity.
I read it, but I read it in
So I think it's exploring kind of
February,
what it means
March
to be
this
British, but not really look British.
Definitely didn't read it in August. Guys, I failed in the non-fiction. Failed.
Next one is a thriller that I got, and it's called Hostile Witness.
I don't even remember having
Rebecca
this on my Kindle.
Forrester. This girl is arrested for the murder of her step-grandfather.
Interesting.
I think she gets arrested for murder, kind of following the route of that. Will I read it in August? Maybe not. It might be
okay,
a bit later
Lisa
on
said maybe
in the
not,
year.
guys. I said maybe not.
Let's
yes,
see.
I
Let's see
don't
if we
even
get to it.
remember that I have this book on my Kindle. So at least I said maybe not, and I still haven't read it, which, you know, guys, this is so bad. I am failing at this so bad, but that sounds like a really interesting thriller. I'm actually glad I'm doing this because it's actually reminding me of books on my Kindle that I didn't know I had. I probably should like scroll back, but you know, like I said before, there's a part of me that doesn't want to know how many unread books is on there because yeah, we need to do something about 2022 goals, guys. Next one.
Called It Began With Lie, a gripping psychological thriller. Secrets of Redemption, Book 1. So it's obviously one in a series. It's a thriller. This one that she moves from New York to Redemption. Wisconsin.
I still can't say
say that. Why can't I say that? I'm not going to try anymore. So she's looking for a fresh start, and they move to this town for her family.
Do you enjoy good thrillers still?
But
I haven't read this one.
There's some mysterious past, or you know, something like that. Maybe August. Might be my TBR.
Why did I say it?
I'll try and read
Put
it.
it on the TBR, and I still have not actually read it. Not read it, guys, and yes, I've not read it. I just suck, but that does sound like a really good thriller. But yeah, we need to evaluate next year's goals.
Is The Man in High Castle. So I have watched this series on Amazon, and so when this came up, I thought, I'd really like to read the book.
With this one, Man in High Castle, the series is way better. It's very different. I was disappointed. I was really disappointed by this one. Not that it was a bad book, I was just disappointed.
And I'm going to try and read. I am going to read that one in August. I am. I'm going to say it. I will read it.
I said I'm going to read it in August. I do remember reading it. Let's check. I read it in August. Okay, so at least I read it. But yes, The Man in the High Castle, the TV series, in my opinion, is much better than the book. But I don't know if it's because I watched the TV series before the book, because they are a bit different in how it's structured. I just feel like the TV series tackled that concept much better. The book isn't bad. It's just, yeah, I feel like the TV one much better. Sorry guys, I don't know, my ears aren't accepting my headphones today. But yes, it's, yeah, I was disappointed. I was disappointed by it. But it's a good TV series, I recommend it. Next one.
And the last one that I bought.
Last one? Yes.
Is The House Guest. Sorry.
I read this.
The House Guest. So again,
it's a really good thriller. It was 5 stars for me.
This British couple house
I
sit,
recommend.
These people's house in America.
Okay, so I have read The House Guest. So I just need to quickly quickly check when I actually read it. I want to say it was August, but it could have been September. The House Guest, where are you? I read it in August, guys. I read it in August. This was such a great thriller for me. It was 5 stars. Didn't see the twists coming. So yes, this couple go and house sit this house in New York, and my battery's dying. My battery is dying. Give me a second, right when I'm at the end of the video, obviously. Obviously. Guys, I've plugged you back in. So yes, the house guest, it's a 5-star for me. So there's this couple, and they basically go and be house sitters for this house in New York, which is a house, like this really massive house, like gorgeous. And yeah, one day this woman knocks on the door. It's like pouring out rain, outside raining, if I remember correctly, and like she claims to know the couple's house it actually is. And she said they said that she could stay over, and they invite her in. Which honestly, I mean, would you invite somebody, a complete stranger, to stay who claims to know the owners? I'd be like, they didn't say anyone was coming to stay. I'm sorry, I can't let you in. But they let her in, and yes, that's, I don't want to say much, but things happen. I did not see the twist coming. 5 stars. Oh, that was such a good thriller. So glad I read it. So yeah, let's see. How did I do? So out of 19 books, I read 10 out of 19. I mean, it's more than half. More than half. That's overall read. That's not what I read in August. But did I read it in August? That was on the TBR. That's a different stat, but I've read more than half of them. But there is a whole other 9 books on this list that I have not read, which is a lot. It concerns me because my Kindle TBR probably has way more, and I don't really add them to Goodreads and Storygraph. I probably should get that situation under control. But yes, this has really been really fun. I'm glad it's reminded me of some books that I haven't read, that I actually really want to read. Completely forgot were on my Kindle. The physical ones, okay, fine, they're on my shelves. Okay, they've been looking at me. They've been looking at me, and I haven't read them. But yes, this was fun. But also, that was not fun seeing an old video. The lack of confidence, guys. The lack of confidence in old me. But yes, this was fun. I might do another one of these some other time, reacting to other videos, because I quite enjoyed this. I don't know if I'll enjoy it when I edit, but this was fun. So yes, thank you. Comment, let me know. Did you think I was gonna have read all these? Because yeah, I wasn't, obviously. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one, which will be going up tomorrow, guys. We're keeping on top of Vlogmas Bookmas. We're doing well. We're keeping it going. So come back tomorrow for another video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!